So I'm about to do something kind of scary, and that is start a new sketchbook. Today is Friday, January 2nd, 2026. It's a new year, and I have this new sketchbook. I want to get it started. So that's what I'm going to do. And along the way, I'll talk a little bit about sketchbooks in general. I've been thinking a lot about sketchbooks lately for some reason. And yeah, I'll kind of talk about it and also about how to start a new sketchbook like I'm about to do. So this is a Moleskine sketchbook. I haven't worked with this sketchbook before, but I know it's very popular. Or this kind of they have this line of art notebooks, and so yeah, I really like the paper. It has a very distinct kind of Moleskine feel, and but I haven't used the sketchbook before, so I'm excited to try it out. And I like that it's really durable. I think this will hold up better in my backpack than some of the other sketchbooks that I've been using. So I haven't. This is brand new. I just opened it. There's nothing in here, and to kind of crack the seal, I guess, I'm going to use the first page just for some mark making. I think that mark making it's something that I do a lot in my sketchbooks anyway, and I think it sets the tone that this is a space to work. It's a space to experiment and to exercise, rather than being kind of a pristine showcase. And maybe you do want your sketchbook to be full of like more finished drawings, but that's not what I want for this sketchbook. So I'm just gonna get rid of any kind of hesitation and just use the first page for mark making, especially because I haven't used this paper before. I just want to get a feel for how the charcoal, I'm going to use charcoal here, but any medium that I'm using, how it works on this specific paper. The first page is also like, sometimes especially in a bound book like this, it's kind of hard to open. So I might as well just kind of use it for some scribbling, basically. So yeah, let's do some mark making. So I'm going to try, I just sharpened this pencil too, so this will be a nice kind of warm up for the pencil. Yeah, so I'm just gonna try like a variety of marks. These are kind of wide, dark marks. It's actually less smooth than I was expecting, this paper, which is interesting. I'm gonna try some thin marks. Try some circles. It's also very loud. Loud paper. Maybe you're hearing it on the microphone. Let's try some smudging. Interesting. So I'm already learning quite a bit about the paper. I really didn't know how it was gonna interact with the charcoal. It shows a lot more grain than I thought it would, especially based on how smooth it feels. I might try another charcoal pencil just because I have one here. Just to make sure that there's nothing kind of unique about my pencil that's giving it a different texture. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, and I think mark making, I think it gets overlooked a little bit. It's something that, like, if I'm warming up for a life drawing session, or just kind of feeling out of practice a little bit, or getting to know a new material or a new paper or a new medium, just mark making exercises, like kind of scribbling around the page, but also trying to get the widest range of marks that you can get from the paper and the medium in combination. I think that's such a good exercise. And yeah, it's easy to forget to do that. I also like to do kind of exercises where I try to repeat the same mark multiple times. So I might do another video about that sometime, but okay, so we've started the sketchbook. That's great. Yeah, so I think what I'll do for an actual drawing, like an actual sketch in the sketchbook. I think I'll do a self-portrait, just a really simple, quick self-portrait. Nothing like too overly rendered or anything. Just a short one, and I'll just draw it from my webcam here. I can see myself in the webcam. It's not the best lighting, but yeah, that's okay. I think that'll also kind of set the tone that I want for this sketchbook, which is I want it to be kind of a journal for my own day-to-day experiences. I think something that I really like doing is just kind of carrying a sketchbook with me and sketching from life, whether that's just interesting objects that I see or scenes that I see, or going to life drawing and drawing from a model. I think that's something that I want to do a lot more of this year. And so I'm going to start off the sketchbook with at least drawing myself. And even though it's from a webcam, and I think it kind of sets the tone for the sketchbook. My sketchbook for the past couple years, I would say, has really been my iPad, because I've been super focused on kind of studying figure drawing and portrait drawing, and I don't always have a model available to draw, and so it's super convenient to be able to just carry one thing with me with the Apple Pencil and have all my references and like a ton of variety of tools from like Procreate. So I've really been treating the iPad as my sketchbook. And this year I find myself wanting to get back into kind of how I started in my art education, which was sketching from life, and sketching on paper. So that's kind of not a goal for this year, but kind of an intention for this year. And yeah, so let me get started on my little self-portrait here, and I'll keep talking about that. And let me make sure I can see it on the camera here. Okay. Yeah, so I'm still getting used to this paper. We'll see how this goes. Yeah, so I think there's a lot of one thing that can kind of make it hard to start a sketchbook is not knowing what to do in the sketchbook. And you can hear, there's a lot of different advice out there. It's like, well, put whatever you want in it, or like have a purpose for every sketchbook. And I think I'll kind of give advice that works for me. And I think it is useful to have a sketchbook that is, well, first of all, it's useful to have multiple sketchbooks. So, I think you can start with one and just kind of see what you put into it, and let yourself kind of sketch anything and, make it just yours. Like, tell yourself, like, I'm never going to share this with anyone unless I later choose to. But if you find yourself doing certain things a lot in that sketchbook, then you might decide, oh, I want to, get another sketchbook and dedicate it to just that type of study or whatever it is that you're doing. A lot of times I'll have a sketchbook for specific mediums. So if I'm, if I'm looking to get familiar with like a new pen or a new ink or something, or like branching out into gouache or something, I might pick up a sketchbook just for that purpose. But I generally find that I tend to have like 2 or 3 specific areas that I'm focused on at any one time. And those tend to be what goes into my sketchbook, but they change over time. They're kind of like cycling through phases of what I'm curious about. So right now, lately, I've been doing like every morning with breakfast, I'll do like 3 5-minute figure drawings from reference, and in graphite, like a mechanical pencil. Because I usually draw with charcoal, so I've been wanting to kind of just get a little bit more familiar with graphite. and yeah, so that's been really fun. I have a sketchbook that I've been doing that with, and but I also have been doing this kind of journaling sketch from life where it's something that I see during the day, or yeah, just kind of whenever I find a moment in the day to get out my sketchbook, I'll draw a still life or a landscape or a person from life. And so yeah, those are the kind of the things that I've been focused on lately, and also compositional sketches. So if I have an idea for a painting or like a larger drawing, but I'm not quite sure if I want to spend a lot of time on it, or if I'm not quite sure what the idea actually is. Like I kind of have some idea in my head, but until I get it on paper, I don't really know what it is. So I'll do these kind of compositional sketches that help me figure that out. It's kind of thinking on paper. But I kind of do that in a separate sketchbook. So the kind of figure drawing and the sketches from life are kind of in one sketchbook, and the compositional stuff is in a different sketchbook. So I think this one, I have a lot of life drawing sessions coming up, so I think I'm going to use this one at life drawing, and I think that I'll also do my kind of like journaling, sketch diary type stuff in here as well, sketching from life. But yeah, it's not like I'm setting goals for myself in terms of what I think should go into this sketchbook. It's more like having an intention. Like I know that I want to sketch from life more often this year. So I'm going to make sure that the sketchbook is the right environment for that to happen. Whether it happens or not, that's not really the point. The point is that it's a medium that I want to work in, and it's the right size that I can carry with me. It's really easy to use, and so yeah, the sketchbook, it's not really a place for goals for me. It's more of a place for creating a space that is easily accessible, so that I can sketch whenever it kind of comes up. And sometimes I will have a goal like, oh, draw 3 figures a day, and I'll do that for a few weeks. It doesn't have to go on forever, but it just kind of gives me a foundation that I know that I'm going to come back to every day. I don't want to completely abandon like my figure drawing skills, for example. So I'm going to kind of have this habit of every morning I do 3 sketches, and it kind of maintains my figure drawing practice, even if I'm working on other projects at the time. So, okay, let me keep drawing here because I'm talking about sketchbooks more than using it. Okay. It's kind of weird looking into a webcam to do a self-portrait. I usually look into a mirror, but for convenience, I'm kind of looking into a webcam. Yeah, so that's kind of the lesson that I'm learning is like I'm not setting goals for myself, especially as I'm starting a sketchbook. I'm keeping it somewhat open ended, but having a focus and an intention. And usually there's some purpose to the sketch, even if that is get familiar with a new medium or just keep my observational skills fresh by sketching from life. Like that's enough of a purpose to kind of give me a focus. Okay, I don't really know how this sketch is going, but I like the paper. I'm really surprised about the texture. It's a lot rougher than I expected it to be. Not in a bad way, just not what I expected. Okay. Yeah, I'm excited to try different charcoal approaches on this paper too. Like, um, I want to try some charcoal powder, um, maybe some vine charcoal, although that might be kind of messy in a sketchbook. Okay. Um, cool. Well, I think, yeah, I think I'm just gonna wrap it up there. I mean, I might keep working on this sketch uh, off camera, but I also think it's my goal was to kind of set the tone for the sketchbook, and I think by having kind of an unfinished self portrait, I think it'll do that. So I do like to put a kind of date in the corner. Let's do 1 2 26. Um, yeah. So if I had to kind of summarize, I think um, having an intention for the sketchbook, but very loosely held intention. If it doesn't happen, that's okay. But kind of noticing what you do in a sketchbook frequently, and that means you need to be drawing in it frequently enough that those patterns kind of start to emerge. So making it easy to carry with you, so that you can do it whenever you have a few moments. And yeah, noticing those patterns and then thinking, okay, if I'm doing this a lot, maybe I want to dedicate a sketchbook to it and start a new one, a separate one. But I find the sketchbooking to be so important as a habit. There's some artists don't keep a sketchbook, and that works for them. But I find that I really get a lot more ideas for larger work when I'm keeping a regular sketchbook, and I just keep my skills fresh, kind of maintain my drawing skills, and also learn new ones, like kind of pick up new approaches just from the experimentation of a sketchbook. So yeah, hopefully that's helpful to you if you're starting a new sketchbook this year. And yeah, there's my self portrait. Okay, cool. We'll see you next time.